Heartiest congratulations to Assam BJP Karyakartas too. That's coming from Narendra Modi again. So even before, in fact, the comments started coming in from Narendra Modi at about 1 o'clock or 12:30, even before the election results came to a close. And that's an important tweet there. I salute to all those who built the BJP brick by brick. So Narendra Modi has gone on to Twitter. He has been congratulating all the leaders, but very sharp comments coming in from Amit Shah. Now Amit Shah has been quoted. He held a press conference just about 2 hours ago, and he has been quoted as saying that it's a mandate for Congress Mukt Bharat. So is this a good cop, bad cop strategy that the BJP is adopting as far as the opposition goes? Ajay, I'm putting that question to you.
At the rhetoric level, it sounds good, Congress Mukt Bharat. But at the level of national interest, you will find that Congress Mukt Bharat is not an idea which is even approved by the RSS. So you have to have two national parties, and Congress, if you remove the party, then BJP would have to deal with the regional forces, as I have read Sandeepan's piece, and he rightly pointed out that Congress Mukt Bharat would not be conducive for the Hindutva forces as such.
Just to add to that, we have seen this continuous trend that wherever the BJP and the Congress are in direct fight.
I was going to ask you that, in fact, that's an interesting commentary piece that you are writing, that BJP wins only when there's a direct fight with the Congress.
Absolutely. Even in this election, Congress and the BJP were head to head in Assam, and that is where the BJP managed to win. But in other states, though it has done well, but the regional parties have done much better. Similar was the case in Bihar, similarly in Delhi, and over the next 6 to 7 months, we'll see Punjab is up next, then there is UP. So a similar trend might play out there also. So a Congress Mukt Bharat may not be such a happy news for the BJP.
Absolutely.
And let's go across to the news desk. Sanjay is live with us. Sanjay, is this a leg up for Modi and Amit Shah? They, I believe, have already begun preparations for Uttar Pradesh, the next big election.
This is a big bang election for not just for BJP but also for other parties, and also UP of course is going to set, in fact, twist or turn the course of Indian politics for 2019, and also will have subsequent bearing on the way Modi government performs. For now, in fact, a post Delhi and Bihar debacle, victory in Assam is a big booster for BJP. Otherwise, things would not have been the way Modi and Amit Shah would have liked for them at the center. Another positive point from these elections would be for them, perhaps the composition in Rajya Sabha post by-election would change a bit, and also maybe Mamata Banerjee would be far more considerate towards supporting Narendra Modi government on policy issues, say for that matter coming out openly on issues of GST. If that happens and thereafter UP goes to poll, Modi will have something to say that he is on right path. And therefore, remember, you see in all these elections, in be it Assam, where Sarvanand Sonowal for some reason was seen to be sincere by people, Mamata Banerjee was seen to be sincere by people, Jayalalitha was seen to be sincere by people, Achyutanandan was seen to be sincere by people. They have been rewarded. If this pattern continues and BJP puts up a good leadership in UP, they will have a chance. One should not negate forthwith. BJP, so in fact, I think
Sanjay is sticking his neck out there for Uttar Pradesh already for 2017. Now we need to take a short break, Sanjay, at this point of time. But we're returning with the other big idea, the big idea number 2. What about the Congress, state after state? Why is it fading away? RJ and me, Rupali, decode the 2016 election results this Thursday, May 19. On the go, only on First Post.
Kotak Mutual Fund presents Faidilal Ke Fund Day. Diversification. Warren Buffett once said, "Don't put all your eggs in one basket." Let us understand why. Just the way a farmer grows various types of crops in his farm to minimize the risk of overdependence on one crop, we should also diversify our investments. Common ways to diversify our investments are by investing in commodities, real estate, gold, bonds and securities, or direct equities. But there exists a better option. Take mutual funds, for instance, which provide a convenient route for diversification of your investments, as they are an indirect route of investing in the stock market and are managed by professionals who track the stock markets day in and day out. Hence, if some of the schemes in your portfolio are not performing, the better performing ones compensate for the downfall. Hence, you stand a better chance of making gains. Whereas, if you invest in direct equity, that is stocks, and if the price falls, you tend to lose heavily. How do we get diversification through mutual funds? List out your needs and investment objectives. Consult your financial advisor, as he can suggest a scheme based on your age and risk-taking ability. Invest in a set of schemes that will help you reach your objectives. Advantages of diversification. One of the biggest advantages of diversification is that it reduces the risk of loss, as a downfall in one sector can be reduced by the investment in the other sectors. Faidilal Ka Funda. Invest through mutual funds and enjoy the benefit of diversification without you taking the efforts of tracking every stock, asset class or sector that you may have invested in. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
Welcome back. You're with Decode 2016. Let's move on to our other big idea. State after state, the Congress caving in, and the big state where it did not make any impact whatsoever today was West Bengal. And the one woman who made that happen was Mamata Banerjee. Let's now cut across to Kolkata. I'm joined live by Srimoy. Thanks, Srimoy, this evening for joining us. Very, very interesting first words coming in from Mamata Banerjee on her victory. She says, "I am no VIP, I'm an LIP, essentially a least important person." Those few words speak volumes of the way she has conducted herself, the way her political charisma really is. Srimoy, if you can hear me clearly, we just played out a quote plate of Mamata Banerjee. She says, "I'm no VIP, I'm an LIP." Very interesting words there.
Rupali, she has not made it a secret that she has national ambitions. In fact, I was just listening to this very same interview which was given to CNN IBN, and there she clearly says that going ahead, she has very good relationship with Nitish, Lalu. She mentioned the names, and she also said that she is very open to a federal front. But crucially, she seemed to suggest that she would rather be a player from the behind instead of being in front of the scenes, which to me translates to something like this: that in 2019, Mamata Banerjee will probably be a player who will be supporting a federal front from the outside instead of being a primary ministerial candidate herself. Once again, this is not something which she has said just now. In fact, in the lead up to the campaign in 2016 assembly elections, she has said this in multiple rallies that once Trinamool wins the elections, then it will be Delhi next. Bengal abhi, Delhi next. This is the exact phrase that she has used many times in many rallies. So I'm not surprised. In fact, I wrote a piece on this as well, that if Mamata Banerjee wins 2016 elections in Bengal, then in 2019, Delhi must be prepared for her.
Also, how did she? It was a tough fight for Mamata Banerjee. It wasn't easy because her right-hand men, her lieutenants had corruption charges against them. So effectively, she was fighting all alone based on her personality. She had to ward off the Congress and a left combined, which could have been very powerful if you look at vote share of the previous Lok Sabha elections.
Well, Rupali, let's understand one thing very clearly. What this election says is that corruption is not a deciding factor in Indian elections. It is not a deciding factor. In fact, this result should bust this myth once and for all. Corruption is not a deciding factor in the Indian elections. It has never been. In fact, even if you look at 2014 elections, when Modi wave seemed to have engulfed entire India, it was more a win based on the promise of Achhe Din rather than the Congress's scams. It was not a negative vote, it was a positive vote in favor of Modi. What I mean to say is that in West Bengal, we have seen a similar thing. Regardless of the fact that many of our generals were fighting corruption scandals, regardless of the fact that they were almost as if on political quicksand, the point is that people did not take these corruption scandals as a deciding factor when they were pushing the button of the EVM. All that they remembered, and this I'm talking about Mamata's core vote bank, all that they remembered were the development work that she had done. And in a piece which I've written today, I've extensively mentioned those. She has done extensive work in the rural infrastructure. A very important point is that since Bengal do not have big ticket industries, it is a power surplus state. Taking advantage of this, Mamata has massively extended rural electrification. She has given electric pump sets. She has made available rice and wheat at very subsidized rates. She has given away bicycles for students. She has also improved government procure of paddy, which is the main crop of Bengal. All these things together, taken together, were the primary reason why she has ultimately won more than her tally in 2011 when she had called for Poriborton. This is remarkable.
Let's stay with us. Let me also bring in Ajay and Sandeepan into this debate. Ajay, the Bhadralok may not like her, the urban middle class in West Bengal, in Kolkata specifically, but the fact is she has done a lot for the people in rural India, and that is her mass vote base, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely right. This is the trait of the anti-hero, in fact. If you look at her, there are so many indicators that at social level, at infrastructure level, her government has done exceedingly well. So, of course, I mean, voters do not go by what media perceives about her corruption or so many other issues. Voters go by the fact that if governance has improved, if their life has improved, it's enough. So that is what the West Bengal results have shown.
And what about the Congress, Sandeepan? Nowhere in the picture. It's been a humiliating defeat for them in West Bengal. What does it mean for the Congress?
Well, the only silver lining for the Congress in West Bengal is that now it is the number 2 party there. It has won more seats than the left, and that tells us that there's a new story developing in Bengal. As Srimoy just pointed out, see, left has been wiped out, almost wiped out of Bengal. Congress, if India turns out to be a Congress-Mukt country, then Congress would become a marginal player. So in Bengal, BJP and Mamata would become the major political opponents. So Shrima was just telling us that Mamata has these prime ministerial ambitions. She wants to come to Delhi, and she has her own plans. And on the other hand, we have the situation where the BJP is looking for more allies in the Rajya Sabha. So how this contrast of ambitions would play out would be interesting to understand and see, and it might have political ramifications for all of us.
Right, gentlemen, time for a short break. We are returning with the third big idea. Big idea number 3 is the urban echo chamber. How much of the noise on social media really does impact change on the ground?
Where's the chocolate?
Right there.
In all matters home, I ask Anjali. In all matters banking, I ask my Digibank virtual assistant.
Digibank.
Hey guys, just wanna...
Look at that pretty boy, looking all pretty, but in a graceful swoop, his day became your day. Awkward. Just think of all the likes, hearts and comments this pretty owl-faced boy would get. And the hashtags, hashtag party all the time and hashtag who's the pretty birthday boy. However, you only captured this, hashtag ouch. That's why we make the new Moto G Plus with a laser-focused 16-megapixel camera, so you never miss what matters most.
J'ai vu le collier d'or que vous portez toujours et le beau bracelet cher à votre poignet. Tous les autres hommes vous ont donné de jolis cadeaux de luxe tous les jours. Mais tout ce qu'il me fallait pour gagner votre amour était mon petit bouquet de fleurs. Était mon petit bouquet de fleurs. Était mon petit bouquet de fleurs.
Where's the chocolate?
Right there.
In all matters home, I ask Anjali. In all matters banking, I ask my Digibank virtual assistant.
Digibank.
Hey guys, just wanna...
Look at that pretty boy, looking all pretty, but in a graceful swoop, his day became your day. Awkward. Just think of all the likes, hearts and comments this pretty owl-faced boy would get. And the hashtags, hashtag party all the time and hashtag who's the pretty birthday boy. However, you only captured this, hashtag ouch. That's why we make the new Moto G Plus with a laser-focused 16-megapixel camera, so you never miss what matters most.
J'ai vu le collier d'or que vous portez toujours et le beau bracelet cher à votre poignet. Tous les autres hommes vous ont donné de jolis cadeaux de luxe tous les jours. Mais tout ce qu'il me fallait pour gagner votre amour était mon petit bouquet de fleurs. Était mon petit bouquet de fleurs. Était mon petit bouquet de fleurs.
welcome back. You're with Decode 2016. Let's move on to our big idea number 3, the urban echo chamber, that is Twitter and the rest of the social media. How much of the noise on social media does really impact change on the ground? And for more, let's cut across to Nikhila from our New York bureau. She has been studying social media data and trends in India for a while now, and a very interesting development that we have seen, Nikhila, how politicians also take to Twitter to reach out to people. Narendra Modi, even before the election results came to a close, congratulated Jayalalitha, V.S. Achyutanandan, as well as Mamta Banerjee and his own BJP cadre across these states on Twitter.
Absolutely, Rupali. Thanks. I just heard Ajay speaking with you, and you were talking about how Modi is the first one to reach out. Let's also remember that Modi, when he came to power in 2014, and what a victory that was. All his social media platforms that he has harnessed have been harnessed since then. So let's remember that he does have a first mover advantage, and they always say if you're good, if you know how to deal with personal relations well in day-to-day life, then is the more popular version that social is distorting, social is an urban echo chamber. Yes, maybe, yes, that's true, but let's keep that aside for a moment and let's understand that how each of these platforms work is different, and if you know how to work it right, it helps. Take a look at Jayalalitha's Twitter handle. Back in February, she didn't have a verified handle. A lot of the bureaucrats who work with her were quite unsure. Shall we do this? Shall we go ahead? How much of a risk is it? But they did go ahead. Why is it happening? She has 20,000 followers. Mamta Banerjee has 300,000 plus followers. Does any of that matter to the election? Here's what the academics say. If you go really deep in a closely fought election, how much does social media really matter? About 2%. In a closely fought election, that matters. In the kind of results that we are seeing today, what does it show? It shows that what, let's say, Jayalalitha has done. I'm just taking this as an example. She has given away free laptops to people, to students. She's given away free mixers, grinders, cash, saris. Does any of that reflect in how she reaches out on social? She's very reclusive, yet she has won. So the point is that everyone, especially politicians, are here on social because the audience is on social. 6 in 10 people in the US hold a smartphone in their hands. Right now it's commute time. So once I finish with you, I'll be heading out. So the audience is on smartphones, and therefore the politicians are on social. It doesn't mean they're working it right, but they have to be there, so they're there.
Election results show that it's not this urban echo chamber that has given her the kind of victory that she has got.
Well, I'll take that theme forward. So take Mamta Banerjee, take Jayalalitha. It's not just about an urban echo chamber. Let's remember that tier 3 cities, the semi-urban areas, there the smartphone uptake is huge. It's broken all records. India has the largest population under the age of 25, which is going to stay that way as the rest of the world grows older. So it's not just about echo chambers is a nice word to use, and yes, they do exist, far more on platforms like Twitter than on Facebook. But if you know that out of your 300,000 followers, many of them are influencers, influential in society, in polity, in arts, in music, then what happens is that gives heft to your social media outreach.
Okay.
Otherwise, the raw number of followers
Okay,
counts for nothing. Karunanidhi and Stalin on their personal accounts have far more following than
So I'm going to
Jayalalitha
come
on
to you.
her
I'm going to
AIDMK
come to you,
account.
Nicola, on the verdict.
Did
but
it matter?
very, very
Really,
quickly,
not
if I
at
can
all.
slip in a question there. We know the controversy and of Narendra Modi equating Kerala to Somalia. It resulted in the hashtag Po Mone Modi. Right, but it did not really impact the results in Kerala. In fact, when Pro Modi went viral, it went viral in countries like Vietnam, in the US, as well as the UAE. Those are the figures that you've given us. Oh yeah.
And even Baltimore. Well, so here's what it is. So social media is getting increasingly local, hyper local. So that's what it shows. It shows that if a large number of people are using the same hashtag, and let's remember this, it's an inexact science, but there is a method to it. Let's say I tweet something today without a hashtag and without tagging somebody, it will not get a single retweet. So Po Mone Modi, which is a takeoff on a great
Right.
Mohanlal dialogue from Narsimham. So a lot of people have come together, and those include influencers in Kerala, people who have large follows, people who also follow Mohanlal. So it ties in how you network in real life. If you can do that on social, then it helps. So yes, it trended. Here's the last word on this. So Po Mone trended, Po Mone Modi trended. Who does this help? It helps if the politicians who are looking at 2019 go into the data and see which cities did that come from? Who are the people tweeting? Is it possible to pinpoint and say these people could move camps from there to here? That is how politicians are using social. In America, this is a social media election like no other. And they are targeting voters and pinpointing those people who could swing the election. And this is how 2019
that's
is
the
going
verdict
to be
coming
fought
in
India.
from Nicola.
That's for sure.
Thanks for joining us live from New York, Nicola. I'm now going to put the question for you, Ajay, as well as Sandeepan. Sandeepan, coming to you very quickly. What is it? Is it the buzz on social media that results in change on the ground, or is it the change on the ground that results in the buzz in social media?
Well, in my opinion, both feed off each other. But I would look at social media as a sample size. When we conduct polls, exit polls, or any opinion poll, we look at a sample. So that social media, the people on Twitter, though the number may not be large, but they come from diverse localities, diverse backgrounds, diverse educational backgrounds. So these people represent the dominant opinion in the society on either a controversy or on a breaking news. So there are of course competitions going on between political parties and to mold the opinion, to sort of convey the impression that the majority in their favor. But I would always treat Twitter and social media and Facebook as an opinion poll and as a small sample which tells us what people are thinking. So it is a reflection of what people might be thinking. They might not be able to mold the outcome, but probably they tell us in which way the wind is blowing.
Okay, a short break here on Decode 2016, returning in just a few minutes with the idea number 4, rebooting the idea of India, why it is necessary. Catch Ajay and me, Rupali, decode the 2016 election results this Thursday, May 19. On the go, only on First Post.
Kotak Mutual Fund presents Faidelal Ke Fund Day. Importance of financial advisor. For your special needs, you always consult an expert. For medical needs, you consult a doctor. For legal solutions, you consult a lawyer. Similarly, for financial planning and investment advisory needs, you should consult a financial advisor. Let's see how a financial advisor helps you. Every individual has to constantly take financial decisions to achieve their life goals. But many face challenges due to lack of financial knowledge. A financial advisor helps you in many simple ways, like where to begin, how to plan, is it a right time, where to invest, how much to invest, and many more. Hence, a financial advisor's role is to assess your financial situation, to help you set financial goals, to suggest products that suit your risk profile, to grow and manage your portfolio, to make informed investment decisions, and to dejargonize the financial world to you. Thus, the advisor acts as a savior and helps you attain financial nirvana. A quick checklist to choose a financial advisor can be checking his professional qualification, good experience, tech-savvy, and customer-centric. Hence, choose a financial advisor who helps you grow your hard-earned money and ensures you attain financial freedom. Take his advice and invest in mutual funds to create wealth. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
Welcome back. This evening you are with Decode 2016 on First Post. Counting has ended and we know the big stories coming out of all the 5 states. But the idea behind these numbers, is it time to reboot the idea of India? For more, I'm going across to our executive editor Ajay Singh. Ajay, a very interesting piece that you have written on First Post. You start off with saying that of all 5 state assemblies, the results of Assam elections are set to redefine political concept of majoritarianism.
Yeah, right. In fact, I think I would be reprimanded for using this rebooting idea of India. In fact, let me explain it, that I have not said that rebooting the idea of India in civilizational term. I have used this term in the present context, in the context of elections. So, my assessment was that when we say that majoritarianism is a word which is not acceptable. I mean, now you are hearing, I mean, all those, I have seen so many write-ups that majoritarianism attached with the BJP is wrong, while the majoritarianism attached with the other parties, it was right. So, what I try to explain, that here is a party which is not skeptical, which is not shying away from its Hindutva line. So, they are pursuing a concept of majoritarianism,
right,
with Hindutva with underlying tone of Hindutva. So we should try to understand it in the context of these elections.
Right, Ajay, if I can, you have summed it up really, but can you do it in Hindi as well? Our viewers would like to hear the nuances of
नहीं,
that.
पहले मैं हिंदी में ही बताना चाह रहा था, but
Go ahead.
नहीं, मैं ये कह रहा था कि मैं सिविलाइजेशनल टर्म में इसको नहीं यूज़ कर रहा हूँ, क्योंकि कोई भी हमसे कह सकता है कि आइडिया ऑफ इंडिया जो है वो एंशिएंट है, वो आज का नहीं है. हमारा सिर्फ इतना कहना है कि मेजॉरिटी को लेके जो आज बात कही जा रही है उसमें हिंदुत्व का अंडरटोन है
जी.
तो वो एक्सेप्टेबल नहीं है. ये एक जो थिंकिंग है ना, वो थिंकिंग असम इलेक्शन ने एकदम धराशायी कर दी है. असम इलेक्शन साफ तौर पे ये बोल रहा है कि नहीं, अगर हिंदुत्व अंडरटोन भी है और हम इलेक्शन अगर जीत के आते हैं तो हम जीत के आते हैं, उसमें दिक्कत क्या है. ये शायद अभी लोगों को इस हकीकत का एहसास नहीं हो रहा है. जिस दिन हो जाएगा तो वो रीबूट होगा उनका, जब आइडिया ऑफ इंडिया, और फिर उसके हिसाब से वो चैलेंज उस पर माउंट करेंगे. ये हमारा कहना है.
और संदीपन, आपका क्या कहना है इस बारे में?
नहीं, मैं अजय जी की बात से बिल्कुल सहमत हूँ कि असम ने अब साबित कर दिया है कि हिंदुत्व को लेके एग्रेसिव लड़ाई लड़ी जा सकती है. सो ये असम में साबित हो चुका है. लेकिन एक पॉइंट इसमें यह भी है कि हम देखते हैं कि जैसे जैसे वोटिंग का परसेंटेज बढ़ता जाता है, वैसे जो माइनॉरिटी वोटिंग का जो फैक्टर पहले इंपॉर्टेंट हुआ करता था, वो अब आजकल जिसको कहते हैं गौण होना, यानी कि इट सीजेस टू प्ले एनी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल इन एन इलेक्शन. तो जैसे जैसे वोटिंग का परसेंटेज बढ़ता जाता है, वैसे वैसे मेजॉरिटेरियनिज्म की तरफ वैसे भी इलेक्टोरल जो वर्डिक्ट है वो टिल्ट होते जाते हैं.
Okay, let's put that this argument to Srimoy, who is joining us live from Kolkata. Srimoy, in his piece, Ajay is arguing that the BJP's sustained a campaign of us versus them and was not at all queasy about it. What's your take on this entire argument of rebooting what India is, rebooting the idea of India?
Well, I don't entirely agree with the fact that the BJP had made it us versus them election campaign in Assam. Had that been the case, it would not have got the huge amount of minority votes that it has got. In fact, there is no other way to explain it. The amount of vote share that the BJP has got in Assam is only possible if it had got the minority votes. And so, if it was an us versus them election, how would the minorities have voted for BJP? That's a dichotomy there. So I think it is less because of the fact that it was an us versus them election, and more because of the fact that cutting across the religious, caste or any other equation, what people want more than most is a secure environment for their daily livelihood, and that is something which BJP probably wanted at this point of time. The people thought that BJP are in a better place to deliver that instead of Congress. And of course, the Muslim intruders from Bangladesh angle was always there. The BJP has never been queasy about playing it up, and I think it had given them rich political dividends. But I do agree with Ajayji's one point, and that is we do need to rethink the majoritarian politics in terms of we always use that as an abusive term. I think the time has come for us to understand that these mores, the almost knee-jerk reaction that we all in the media or in the civil society or in the academia that we have, this almost knee-jerk reaction against these terms, this does not match the ground reality. The people out there are telling us that we need to rethink, and that is something we all have to learn. We have to understand. We have to take lessons from it.
Is there a problem as far as BJP's politics of majoritarianism is concerned? Is this a problem for the BJP? And is
Well,
in fact,
I don't think
I
that
want
it
to
is
finish that
I
sentence.
don't think
Is Congress majoritarianism okay, but not the BJP's?
Well, that is what I was trying to say. See, the thing is that people are fed up with these notions of false secularism. In fact, the term secularism is the single biggest abusive term in India. In the garb of secularism, what goes on in India is basically ghettoism, and the Muslims have been over a very long period of time ghettoized by this false secular notion, and they have been treated as a vote bank, and they have not been allowed to come into the mainstream. If you look at after 60 years or more have passed after independence, and Muslims still have in all human development index, Muslims are very poor. Why is that so? Because the Congress, which is supposedly a secular party, they have been in power for most part of the decade, for most part of this time. Why are the Muslims their conditions so poor? Largely because of the fact that the Congress had used them as a vote bank for so long, and so this word secular was more often than not used as a weapon to keep any sort of opposition to this idea at bay. But now the time has come and people are asking questions, and now this idea is also getting questioned. So in this respect, I entirely agree with that.
I'm going to put it slightly differently. Is Congress's minoritarianism better than BJP's majoritarianism?
Well, I think that we kind of, instead of getting stuck in these dualities, we need to understand that what people need more than being told of their identities is the fact that every one of us want to live a good life. And probably where the BJP has scored over Congress is that it has done more of a positive politics than the negative campaigning by the Congress. BJP has of course put up the religious angle, so has the Congress. But the BJP has given them a better alternative, a better way of, they have given some sort of a picture that look, if you vote for us, I'll give this to you. So that sort of thing, I think people respond more than to just negative campaign. We saw that in West Bengal as well. The opposition focused too much on TMC's negatives. They forgot to tell the people, look, this is what we are going to bring to the table. They didn't say that. They were focusing too much on the negatives of TMC, and they were punished for that.
Srimoy is sticking to his stand. I've asked him the same question 3 different ways. He hasn't budged from his stand. But I'm going to put that question to you. Is Congress's minoritarianism better than BJP's majoritarianism?
No, both are different things. Minoritism is a word coined by BJP, in fact. During this Rath Yatra, L.K. Advani used this word to define pseudo-secularism. And BJP's majoritarianism is has acquired a tinge of malignancy in the context of its assuming power at the center.
Right.
So both are absolutely different thing, and both the parties are accused of practicing it. But if you go by Srimoy's this thesis, he said it that if you look at the development indices, HDI indices, you will find that Muslims are at the lowest ebb.
True.
So why is it so? Is it because of the fact that the whole concept of appeasement, which we attribute to Congress, was it there or not? So I mean, on the basis of empirical data, you can always say that this appeasement concept was never there. It was a psychological concept, and it was built by political rivals, especially BJP, to paint Congress in a situation where it will be difficult for them to defend themselves.
Okay, Sandeep, I want a last word from you on this.
Now, just to add to that, the Assam election was slightly different from the usual us versus them debate, because here the us versus them was not Hindus versus Muslims. It was Hindus, Muslims, ethnic Assamese population versus outsiders, and the outsiders here were Bangladeshis. So it was not a traditional Hindu versus Muslim divide there. So in Assam it was difficult to take sides, because even the ethnic Muslims, people who were originally from Assam, even the Muslims there, they were with the BJP on this issue, because they always felt that people from outside, they were coming in, they were taking up positions, the job opportunities that were available to them earlier. So this was not a traditional Hindu versus Muslim divide. It was like Indians versus others, and it was very difficult for local population to take a stand on that, on the traditional Congress BJP lines. Or it was more like patriotism, a debate on patriotism, a vote on patriotism. So it was not like the Congress is a Muslim party or a BJP is the Hindu party here, but the divide was basically between Indians versus others.
All right. Okay. A very short break. Very interesting debate going on here, but I have to slip into a short break. Returning with the big idea number 5. Is it the end of ideology as far as Indian politics is concerned? Stay with us.
I'm hard at work. At least my money is. With Digibank, my money is earning 7% interest.
घर एक स्वर्ग होता है, लेकिन मेरे साथ ऐसा नहीं था। फिर एक दिन मौसी ने बताया अंबुजा सीमेंट से घर बना लो। उसके बाद पता चला घर पे रहने का मजा।
विराट कंप्रेसिव स्ट्रेंथ अंबुजा सीमेंट।
ये वारंटी वाला वाटर प्रूफिंग पता है कहाँ से आया? कहाँ से? 9242592425। तो पहले किने बताया? तो ये डबल किराया कहाँ से आता है?
वारंटी वाला वाटर प्रूफिंग के लिए 9242592425 पे मिस्ड कॉल दें। स्मार्ट के सॉल्यूशंस फ्रॉम एशियन पेंट्स। जुबान दे दो।
J'ai vu le collier d'or que vous portez toujours et le beau bracelet cher à votre poignet. Tous les autres hommes vous ont donné de jolis cadeaux de luxe tous les jours. Mais tout ce qu'il me fallait pour gagner votre amour était mon petit bouquet de fleurs, était mon petit bouquet de fleurs, était mon petit bouquet de fleurs.
Welcome back. Here with Decode 2016 on First Post. We have been debating majoritarianism and minoritarianism. Now let's go to the other end of the spectrum. Old foes turning friends irrespective of what they stand for. So is ideology, Ajay, just a fig leaf to be used when convenient to political parties?
Well, I have always regarded ideology as a means to attain power. So, if you look at the kind of alliances that have been forged over the years, you will find out that most of the alliances are based on the necessities. In Bihar, you have seen it. In J&K, you have seen it. So, ideology is not something which appears to be a stumbling block for any leader to attain its ultimate objective, that is power.
Right.
So, in that context, I have said that this election would almost give a stamp of approval to the fact that there is an end of ideology.
Right, so I'm going to take it a step further when I put that question to Sandeepan. Is power the ultimate ideology, Sandeepan?
Absolutely, as Ajay pointed out, that power is the ultimate ideology. The only ideology that matters to politicians at the moment is power. You can see it in Assam also. You know, though the BJP has won the election, but most of its leaders are either imports from the Assam Gan Parishad or the Congress. Himanta Sharma Biswa, the so-called kingmaker of this election, his ultimate ambition was to become the chief minister, and that is why he left the Congress and came to the BJP. So it's another point whether he will achieve his dream or not, but that is clearly proven. Now the other important ideology, as far as I think, is in every election, as they say in India, it is either somebody hatao or somebody lao. For instance, 1977 they wanted Indira to go, so all the parties they got together and got rid of Indira, so to speak. Then in 1918, and again we saw the BJP, the left, all the parties they came together to hatao Rajiv Gandhi.
Right.
Similarly in Bihar, the objective was to sort of lao Nitish Kumar, so they got together. So there are two ideologies in this country. One is to attain power, and the other is to either remove somebody or to bring in somebody.
Right.
Apart from that, people keep switching from one party to other, and ideologies don't really matter.
I think you're making a very crucial point there. किसी को लाओ, Congress हटाओ, BJP लाओ, BJP हटाओ. Parties are using that as the basis for ideology today. Let's also bring in Srimoy into this debate. Srimoy, very interesting there from Kolkata. Of course, it is the left Congress combined which failed so miserably. They formed the Jodh to fight against Mamta. So Mamta ko hatao, but that has backfired. Now the arithmetics hasn't worked. What went wrong there?
Well, a lot went wrong, it seems. One of the interesting interactions I had with Jay Mrug, who is a psephologist on a recent Facebook interaction, I asked him that what is the guarantee that just because these two powers, the left and the Congress, who have been at loggerheads with each other for so long, and there have been 55,000 political murders when the left was in power, and most of them were victims from the Congress. What is the guarantee that there will be a transfer of votes between the left and the Congress? Will there be at all a transfer of vote between the alliance partners? The results seem to prove true what Mruk told me. He said that since the CPIM is a cadre-based party, there is every possibility that the CPIM's vote could transfer to the Congress, but the Congress vote in turn may not transfer to the CPIM because most of these are anti-CPIM votes, and that is exactly how it has panned out. In fact, Congress has become the senior partner in this alliance. They were actually the junior partner when they went into it. So obviously the transfer of votes didn't take place. That is number one. Number two is that the people at large, they did not take this alliance to be something to be they did not accept the alliance for the very simple reason that this alliance was based on a necessity. It was basically an alliance of two parties facing existentialist threat, coming together to save themselves from getting completely erased by the TMC tsunami. But the problem is that even when they came together, they did not form a common ideology. It was more of a seat sharing arrangement. And though the grassroots level workers became very enthusiastic, but at the end of the day, that is not enough to win an election. The people didn't really warm up to them. So that is another problem. The third problem is that the BJP played a very crucial role in this election. If you look at the BJP's vote share, in 2011 they had 4% votes. It went up to 17% in 2017, but now everyone thought that in 2016 the BJP will come down to at least 6 or 7%, and the opposition was eyeing a very large part of this vote share. But that clearly has not happened. Not only did the BJP prevent a complete erosion of its vote share, in fact it has 10.2% votes as opposed to Congress's 12.8%. It's just about 2% more. So the BJP kept its vote share largely intact, and most of the votes that the BJP has lost seems to have gone to the TMC instead, because these were mostly anti-CPI, anti-TMC votes to begin with. So the alliance did not gain there as well. So basically an alliance which was very dicey on ideology, because these two parties were at loggerheads, they were ideologically different, they came together, there was no ideological platform. There was no transfer of votes that took place, and BJP played spoilsport. All these things taken together, the result is what it is.
So quite clearly, Srimoy, the alliances of convenience, as the left and the Congress we have seen an example standing before us, don't work.
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say that they don't work always, because if you look at what happened in Bihar, it was a similar sort of alliance. Lalu and Nitish, they both came together because they wanted to keep the BJP out, and they succeeded. They succeeded in a very big way. But they did not succeed here. I think we have to take it case by case instead of trying to generalize with one theory. The point is that in West Bengal, the people are the scars of the left's 34-year old rule are still fresh. Right. Nobody has forgotten what happened in Nandigram. Nobody has forgotten what happened in Pashkura and many other places where there was political violence. People are still scared of the left, and that is one of the main stumbling blocks which the left still has. It still faces a trust deficit when it comes to the people of West Bengal, and the organizational structure of the left has been completely usurped by Trinamool.
Okay.
So all these things are there. But to return to the main point about ideology, I think West Bengal also showed that there is right now the only ideology that these political parties listen to is the ideology of power, because obviously had power not been the common factor,
that's one consensus I'm getting from you three gentlemen. What a riveting discussion it has been this evening. Thanks so much for joining us in the studio on Decode 2016. Also to our viewers on Facebook, thanks very much for joining us. This was a first in many ways, a live digicast. We've had over 618,000 viewers watching us through the day as we bring you a large experiment that has been extremely successful on digicast on the web as well. We will continue with more such live discussions, but a big thank you from all of us here for joining us.